4, and we have one at 48. Now, she does have the housing. All right, that was enough to boost them up. See, now we can create small straw huts. Welcome back, everyone. This is Panicking with GreyWolfs, and today we are going to play some Ancient Cities. Now, I know this game's been out for a while, and this is going to be our first look at the game, and we're going to start doing on the channel on this day. Well, it'll be Tuesdays when this video comes out, but on Tuesdays we're going to start doing like colony sim games like Ancient Cities, Furthest Frontier, Land of the Vikings, things of that nature, Manor Lords, and other things. So let's jump into a new game. You can start anywhere between 10,000 BC and 4,500 BC, I think is when they let you stop. But you kind of see what all the area you can see. Now, if you watch real close, I'm going to move this slider up real quick, and you can see the land, especially if you look around England and Scandinavia areas, which is around Norway, Sweden, Denmark. Watch as you'll see the land start progressing out or being covered by ice caps, and you can see the ice caps moving, and you see the land start to form there. I was once connected. Now, I will tell you this by playing the game a couple times that I have played. If you go to these little areas where there's no longer land presently today, then you will have to move your settlement. If you have to move your settlement in the gameplay, it's not the end of the world or anything like that. But as far as like your housing and stuff like that, things that you've already built, those will have to stay. Everything that you got food-wise or resource-wise, you can take with you. Hey, and send me some pictures, some screenshots of your villages and everything, and let me know. I mean, that would be pretty cool. I'd like to see something like that. But we're going to start over here in the area that are known as Britain and Normandy and get started with our little village here. Now, this is the screen you'll see when you go to migrate, and you can check out and see where there's other civilizations or people have settled down and everything in that nature. But we don't want to be too close to the coast, just in case those waters start rising more and coming in and taking us out. So I want to find an area that still has water, of course, obviously, because your people need water, and also not too close to the coast where we can still maybe out here in this get a hold of some of this wildlife that portrays around. I really like this area right in here just because of the water and the mountains, and it's kind of away from everyone else. So, and we have 5 people. This right here will tell you everything about your people. You have 2 children, 7 adults, 9 in total. How many males, how many females, how many are pregnant, how many are working, and how many are idle. Now, if you look at it real closely, that little area's got the river coming through, but it's got a little mountain rise up there too. Just in case if the rivers start to rise and I'm up on a hill or something like that, that's a lot less likelihood of getting overcome by the water. But we're going to go a little bit further down. I'm actually going to go right here to this point. So let's speed our people up. It's probably going to take them about a day or 2 to get here, and you'll know because it'll turn in the night, and the people, when they're in this position, won't move, cannot travel at night, so they have to wait for the sunrise. Now, when you start off with a number of resources. We have to watch this food because of this long travel right here is going to affect us. And once we get settled in, we got to start setting our workers out to start getting more food and start gathering supplies and resources so that we don't die off from starvation or anything like that. And it does happen. I've actually played this game and I had a couple people die of starvation because I didn't have as much food as I thought I did. So this is your little tribe here. Okay, as you can see. And I'm pretty much assuming that the guy with the antlers on his head is the leader. And it is Rona, 35, and that they are the leader. This is the female. And there's some of the supplies that we have, the leather, the sticks, and the food right there. So when you set up, they'll drop you off at a certain spot like this, and then you'll have to find you a place to live. So we want to get kind of close to the water, but not on top of the water. But we're up on the hill. I think we'll be all right if we was to settle here. I do prefer this side over here just because of the trees and everything. With the trees, I believe that'll be a lot more wildlife as well in this area. That's where we're going to need for our second source of food. And we are up on the hill, plenty of reeds around, so we should be all right fishing too. And let's have them build their first home. You can easily rotate this. It'll tell you in the game which buttons to push to rotate your buildings and everything. So we're going to put our first home here. And go ahead while you're at this point too and get that first fireplace built up, because your people will rely on that fireplace a lot for heat, for food, and everything of that nature. So we're going to speed this up. Will be a lot of speeding times through this. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has to be done. As you can see, I'm moving through the trees here a little bit. They all come. So we'll have them start clearing out the areas. As you see, they're going to clear out the areas for the first hut will be in our fireplace. In the process of them doing that, we're going to go ahead and start setting up our gathering units. Now, I always pick 2 gatherers units because one of them is only for foods. As you'll see, you click on this here, just gathering information, and we're going to tell them to start gathering all these foods. Now, you won't always get every one of them, but you'll get about 4 or 5 that's readily available in this area, and let them have at it. So while they're doing that, we have 2 people doing that. We're going to jump over here to the gatherers. I've seen that exclamation point. We'll come back to that in a minute. And we're going to pick up plant fiber. We're going to pick up straw, sticks, raw stone, raw fine stone, and logs. So while that's going on, let's jump back over to foods, because it says that we can no longer get beetroot. So these are the 3 main things that I have seen in every gameplay that I have come across, is that you're going to get berries, you're going to get roots, and you're going to get hazelnut. For whatever reason, I see these in every game, or the majority of the time. These 3 are the main ones, so that's what I'm going with there. We got 6 people working. We still got 3 idle. So with that, we need to do 2 more work groups. You need a crafting group and a fishing group. Now, the fishing group, you don't have to do anything special. On the craftsman, we need 2. And we need them to start turning that plant fiber into rope, and those rough sticks into fine sticks. Now, they can do other things as well as far as the tools. We'll get into that later on. But right now, we're just going for the basic necessities so everything can get taken care of immediately. It's going to give you an exclamation point saying that we don't have enough sticks or fibers. That's fine. That'll change in just a minute. No big deal. And you already got 1 guy fishing. Now, when you start off, sometimes you have other housing that you can build. Sometimes your people have to learn it and research it. There's no really like a research tab. It just comes to them as they're going. Same thing with food storage. You have pits and you'll get baskets later on, but right now we're not at that point. See, there's baskets there. There's the reed hut, or the straw hut. We only saw the small straw hut. The main things is getting this second house, because this pelt hut here takes leather, and we only start off with 6. I want to get more leather, of course, is to hunt animals. We don't have the people to really do that right now, so we need to learn how to do this small straw hut. And you need to learn how to do these dryers. These dryers are for food processing, meat and fish, so that they will keep longer. That's what we're in the process of trying to do right now. We'll just have our people continue to collect resources, do the 2 buildings that we have. You're going to have people that get upset and have that little face like you see right there, saying that they're not happy or comfortable with the way things are going. We slowed it down just so I can show you how it. No proper housing. No proper housing. So right now they have no housing, unless you just heard. I'm pretty sure you guys heard the thunder in the background. So that means rain's coming. No one likes to be out in the damn rain, getting soaked all the time. Now, also, you'll get randomly other people coming in, that want to join your tribe. Our first fireplace is completed. You can see it there. Like we did with the gathering of the different materials, we need to do the same thing with food, because you can see at chestnuts right now, we're already at 35. So let's limit them to 40, because I don't want them to go crazy with that. The roots, we'll let them at 30, and we'll do the berries at 32. The reason I'm saying 30 is because we got 9 people in our tribe. There's no use to just having 100 daggum berries here that people are never going to get to eat because they'll end up going bad first. Their state is right now, it's a beginner game. Mostly happy tribe. But we got 100% of our people without housing. 100% because they ain't got the first one built yet. They're still bringing all those fish, sticks, and leather that was way over here at our starting point. They're still bringing it back. You can see the little pathway of where they walked. And I like seeing these little pathways like this. It just kind of trips me out, you know, just to see that the people walk through there. If you live out in the country like I do, you see this a lot in the woods around here just because of deer and other animals making tracks and stuff in the ground. They all kind of stick to one, you know, not one, but particular trails that they will use over and over. So what we're trying to get done right now is first, of course, get this first house built up. But we're trying to get it advanced enough that we can build our second style house and build drying racks. And don't worry, anything that pops up over here will show you it'll pop up on the bottom right hand side unless you change it somewhere in the game. Like this, a group of migrants have arrived. So it's just one person. He's 48 years old, so he's only got about 10 years of effectiveness with the tribe because of the time that they quit working at a certain age. We're going to go ahead and bring this person in. The reason being is not that they had a lot of knowledge, but starting off, we could really use the extra help. Now, you'll also notice, that's another Rona, that we have sticks here, we have food, bones, rocks of all sorts, hay, everything. Plant fibers and food. Now, while you do that, you come in and you need to build little storage spots, little spots on the ground that we'll put our stuff. So the first thing we want to do really then is kind of look about an area that we could do it that will be close, but in no way going to affect everything else. I'm thinking about right in here. So I'd like to keep this big green area right here open up for housing, things like that we might need. Tribe's still going. We're going to let them continue to do what they're doing, and we're going to go ahead and build our little storage areas. Now, this has to be done by basically drawing on the daggone screen, like paint shop. I want to kind of keep them all about the same. They'll be more organized and easier for us to take care of and do stuff with. So that's 3. We're only going to put about 6 over here. I don't want to go too close to our fire. I want to keep it kind of away from everything. Now you'll see it looks kind of weird, but you'll understand why I'm doing this in just a second. Because there's going to be some things that you're going to get just fill up this little bit of areas quite quickly. Now this last one's going to be a little bit extremely big considering the other ones, but there's a reason for that, is I will put another building material of reed in here, and reed is a lot bigger and it takes up a lot more. Can we not? Yes. Okay, so there's something right here that's not allowing us to select those areas to build to storage, probably rocks or something of that nature. But that's fine because that's big enough what we really need. Big rocks. Yep. No, here we're gonna do logs, rough sticks, and here we'll do fine sticks. And this big area right here will be used for reed. However, right now we're not collecting reed. We're trying to get that straw up because the only thing we can build right now are straw huts. Now, when you go to build anything in the game, it'll tell you exactly what it needs, what it does, and how much it'll help you. Raw stone, flint stick, leather. Now, it says sleep 10+%. Now, if you look at these small huts, that's a negative 10%. So the people are not getting an actual good enough rest in these. Warn you on one thing, sometimes when you put these things down as a limited number, like right now we have sticks at 100, you can tell it's obviously over 100. So you will have instances where that happens. You can always cancel them, tell them not to pick up the rocks anymore, or the big sticks. But the rough sticks here, as we call them, are going to be beneficial because the only way to get fine sticks is, of course, to have a rough stick, and your fine sticks is going to be what builds a lot of your tools. They're still pretty disappointed. They like the food. They say it's too much work. They're not as mad about the proper housing, but we are working on that. And there you can see right now the stick frame for our first pelt hut. Looks more like a Native American teepee than anything else. But I mean, I can't say because there might have been teepees in Europe and Asia and Africa and Australia and other places too. But just that we know of today in history, we know that a lot of Native Americans, especially in the plains, used forms of teepee huts. And we can build graves, we can build a little altar here, fencing, gates, fireplaces, small and large. This is a pelt tanner or leather tanner, and this is the drying rack that we showed before. That's a log storage, hay storage, baskets for storing food, and pits for storing food. The baskets the food tends to last a little bit longer. All right, our first pelt hut has been completed. Now, what I was telling you earlier about this is all reed. It almost looks like from this view here, looks like stalks of corn, but this is actually reed, and this reed will make a big change as far as us building later on. So it says everybody's working. We do have one person that is pregnant. All right, Rizzi has given birth. So now we have our first child. It's a baby. And it doesn't even register on our group. Now they will register when they're about 1 or 2 years old. I think their portrait will pop up in here. I need more food. So we're going to pull a gather off and we're going to put them on the food. Every once in a while, also go back to your food, click on this other stuff, because some of this stuff is just seasonal. So it'll only be around at certain times. See, like now, a while ago we had 3, now we have 6. We have the pulses, we have honeycomb, we have rosehip, we have beetroot that we can now harvest as well. Well, we had pulses, but they quickly went away. Gatherers, we're going to change this stuff up now. Since we already got the initial going, we're going to tell them I want you to keep around at least 20 row. And fine stick, we want you to keep at least around 40. We have right now fine sticks set at 40, they're at 17. So that means they're going to come from the rough sticks. But the rough sticks will be replaced and gathered back up till it hits 150 like it's set up to do. So that'll kind of help a little bit micromanaging, but it'll help you get things flowing and you never run out. All right, so she has improved the knowledge of the tribe, and it looks like it has something to do with woodworks because you can see the green, a little bit on the green on the fences there. And you'll notice if you ever go to any Native American village sites that a lot of them, especially in the area that I am from, put their homes up on hills, sort of away from the water, close to water, but up high away from it, because they knew the flooding effects of water and that water would rise and fall just depending on the times of the seasons and everything like that. Also, let's pause. You can I just noticed it, but you can kind of see fish right here floating around. And you'll see random animals come through, rabbits, boar, deer, anything of that nature will come through as well. Now we got one guy here who's really upset. He feels exploited and there's no proper housing. I don't know why he feels exploited. As you'll notice, I'm going to zoom in here, that our rocks and our logs and our sticks are all over here, right? What's not? The food and the hay. So let's get us a hay storage place. Foods are kicking off. We can't get beetroots anymore. Okay. So let's go in and build us a haystack. We'll put it over here, kind of off to the side. As you see the years up here, it tells you how many years you played the game, the times of the season, the time of day, whether you're working or resting. Speed the game up, of course, anyway, like this. Skip nights, our temperature, and the map toggle. All right, so our first haystack is complete, and as you can see, the people are starting to bring the hay over. But as you can see, like I said, this hay right here is starting to gather up, and they're bringing it all over to this one location. You can even click on these things and it'll tell you exactly how many you have here. Same goes with this area as well. Click there, you got 50 rocks. Logs, you got 6. But this to keep them from when the gatherers go out and grab this stuff, they'll bring it right to the storage and drop it instead of just dropping it around the fireplace that you have built up so far. That has any knowledge. All right, looks like our road path has kind of died out to where we were at before. So they must have gotten everything that they needed to get from up there. All right, so with this group of migrants that we just had come in, let's see what we got. We have 2 knowledge of fish and that's no knowledge. Okay. So work detail, we'll put 1 on foods and we can put another on gathering. Let's keep our guys going. Let's keep our tribe moving. Rushing through, getting all this stuff taken care of. Let's keep going. Our folks are resting. Look like we're doing decently on food. Fish, not so much. Of course, that's going to change a lot when you start doing the drying racks. You can boost that up dramatically. They're hoping for better housing. There's nothing I can do about that immediately right now. I wished I could, but until you guys learn how to build other structures or something of that nature, we're not going to have that be a thing. Since we know our sticks and our straw and our rock are pretty much where they need to be, we're going to go ahead and add in the reed now. And with that reed, I'm going to put it at 102. Like I said, this is a building supply and we will run through these quick. But you'll realize when we made one area for the reeds so much bigger than everything else, because those reeds, it will take up a lot of area. Okay, you got 183. You can see there where the graph is, it still has a lot that it can hold. Speaking of animals, let's go not to our fisher, let's go to our craftsman. All right, craftsman, you've got the 20 rope and you've got the 40 stick. So now it's time to start building some spears. Hunting. All right, this is our 3rd set of migrants. We had 1 the first time, 2 the second time. This means we get 2 more. We got a young girl here, 4, and we have 1 at 48. Now she does have the housing knowledge, so maybe that's going to be enough to boost us up when we bring them in. All right, that was enough to boost them up. See, now we can create small straw huts. All right, so with the arrival of new migrants, we also have the ability to build new homes. Well, let's spin that around so the doorway is facing a little bit towards us. I won't do too many. Starting off, just need enough for a few people to have a home and everything. And now on these little straw huts like this, it's like the old school tents. You're only going to be able to hold like 2 people per straw hut, and that's fine. Right now, we're just trying to give our people a leg up on homes and everything. So they should have that first hut up, no problem. They have plenty of stick, and plenty of straw to do so. I don't know why I'm yawning. I do apologize immensely for that. But I mean, everything as far as supplies go, we're looking good. Can change at any moment in time with the way things go, as far as people going out and getting what they need to get in order to keep us, in survival rate or survival mode, I should say. All right, so it says we got 3 idle, and the 3 that we have idle, you can hover over. You got 4-year-old, 18-year-old, and a 5-year-old. The 18-year-old needs to be working, so we're going to actually put the 18-year-old on the fishing. So that'll help with some of the food, bringing in some fish, because right now we are completely out of fish. But that'll help bring in some more food for us, a different variety of food, and more protein and everything that's needed for our people to survive and maintain long lives. I'm doing okay so far, I think. You can see the little pathways that people walk. Like you got one pathway down here to the river that people are walking. One back here off in here to the woods, and you got one more little path. I think it's going off this direction. They're coming over in this side, other than I'm assuming other than just for the storage area. So now we're at 105. on straw. Don't know why it's going above 100. Same thing with the stick, supposed to be at 150 and they're at 235 already. So I want to show you that. You'll see that graph again. Let's get down in here on the rough stick, and we're only not even halfway yet, and we have 235 now. All right, so it says we got more people coming in. Let's check out, see what they provide. And fishing. There's 2 people that can go right to work right away. So we're going to go ahead and bring them in. We'll put one of them on food, and we'll put the other one on gathering. I don't know why. Oh, not tools for chopping. Okay. So let's destroy that one because it says something about chopping, which means there's a tree and I don't have any axes. We can't do anything in that area. So let me see. Was I hitting a tree or a rock or something? Maybe I was hitting that back tree. Let's see what he's saying. Building. Doesn't have anything brought over yet. Stick, rope, or straw. Well, let's go ahead and get 2 of them because let's go ahead and do all 3. Because we know we have the stick, the rope, and the straw to do all 3. And we can get these up. That'll help improve. The quicker we can get these all up, that'll be better. We can get these people housed. And that's what's really affecting our overall happiness right now. Is not everyone having a home to sleep in, shelter. So once these right here are completed, then we should be good to go. We will have to do a few more because we do have 19 people already in the village. 9 males, 9 females. To rise from where we were at before. And right now, the only reason they're not doing these houses is because it's resting time at this point. They're all resting around the open fireplace because only 3 people can fit in the pelt hut. So let's get these right here knocked our way in. I think that tree right there was what was throwing us off. All right, so we'll get those 3 up, and we'll also go ahead because I know we're gonna have to place a 4th one and a 5th one. Because like I said before, these little huts only hold 2 people, and there's a bunch of people that's wanting homes. But the only thing is we're gonna pause on these 2. Let them get those first 3 up and going. And you'll see that thing right here is red right now. Once these houses start getting completely finished, so there's 1. We're down to 19 straw and we had 105. So that's 3 huts built up right there, and it went from red at like 80-something% down to yellow at 50%. So if we do these last 2 right here, that should be enough to kind of fill us out. But we just want to give you guys a quick glance at the game. We're going to continue going on next week. And when we come back around this time next week, and we hope you guys enjoyed it. I mean, wasn't much going on other than just building up as we go. Appreciate you guys taking the time to stop and watch and giving the channel some love and some appreciation. We really do appreciate everything you guys have said, commented, liked. And let us know what games you'd like to see, because we're picking out games here and there that we know of. There might be some games out there that we don't know of that you guys might want to point out to us for us to try out and everything. Until next time, we will see you guys then. This is Panicking with GreyWolfs Den. Catch you guys later.